Hey everybody, it's Bree from homestead.com, and today I'm going to share with you just how quick and easy it is to make your own butter at home. All you need is a couple simple ingredients and about 15 minutes of your time. So up until a couple of years ago, I had thought about making my own butter, but I honestly thought it wasn't going to be very time-saving, it wasn't going to be very cost-effective, and it was really probably a lot more challenging than I thought. So I kind of just pushed that idea off to the side and continued to buy my butter at the store, which again is okay to do. I still do it sometimes in a pinch, but we really do enjoy making our own butter because it is so quick and it is so easy. It's a great project to do with the kids. It really doesn't involve very much, and the kids really like watching it turn from a liquid into a solid. So a couple of the things you're going to need is either a food processor or a stand mixer. Now I know people have said that you can do this with a hand mixer as well, and I have tried it but did not find that I got the same results that I wanted when I either used my food processor or my stand mixer. So if all you have available is a hand mixer, you definitely can use it. Now if you're looking to do a fun project for the kids, you can also take the heavy cream and put it into a canning jar and have the kids shake it. Now my kids are still pretty little. My son is 3 and my daughter is 5. I gave them a jar of heavy cream and had them shake it, and that lasted about 5 minutes before they totally lost interest. But if you have older kids, that is definitely something that you can try. But for today's tutorial, I'm going to show you how to do that in my food processor. Now the reason I'm not going to be using my stand mixer, which I typically like to use for everything, is because my stand mixer is the Pro Series one that did not come with the splatter guard. So it's not really something that is necessary, but it definitely will prevent a lot of the mess that is gonna happen with making your own butter. When the heavy cream starts to whip and all the liquids separate from the solids, you're gonna get a lot of splatter, and I just found that it made a huge mess when I used my particular model of stand mixer. But again, you can definitely do it. I've done it before. I've done it in a pinch, either when my food processor was dirty or I didn't want to go dig it out of my storage closet. So for today though, I'm going to share with you how to do that in the food processor. My particular model of food processor that I have actually has a liquid fill line on the side. So check yours to see if yours does as well. Mine is on the side and it literally says liquid max fill. So you're going to want to make sure that you check the bowl of your food processor to see if it has that line on it. And if it does, you know exactly how much heavy cream to put in. Mine, when it's filled up to the liquid fill line, is exactly 3 cups. Then you're going to want to make sure you just have on the regular chopping blade. So the first thing you're going to do before we get started is you're going to take your heavy cream and you're going to pour it into your food processor up to the fill line. You're going to put the lid on it. Then you're going to turn it on. Now a lot of people say that their food processor can do this in 4 minutes. Mine, however, was a little bit different. When I made butter in this the first time, it took about 8 minutes to completely spin it, get the solids and the liquids completely separated before I could start rinsing it. So it's really going to depend on your food processor. Like I said, this one's about 8 minutes. I've heard people say theirs only takes 4. So it obviously varies depending on the brand, the model of food processor that you have. So kind of just watch it. But after you do this once, you're going to know exactly how long it's going to take, and it will go very quickly. So once you have your liquid in your food processor, you can either add salt now, or you can add it when it starts to turn into a solid. It's totally up to you. Usually once I have my liquid in, I go ahead and add 1 teaspoon of my Himalayan salt for my 3 cups of heavy cream. Again, you're probably going to want to vary this depending on how much liquid is going into your machine at once. Now you can add salt after your butter is completely made, and that's fine too. You can hand mix it in and really get how much salt you want. I have just made this so many times. I know that 1 teaspoon works really great for salted butter that tastes like store-bought butter. So I put my salt in there, my heavy cream's in there, my lid is locked on, and now I'm going to go ahead and turn this on. You'll see the fat start sticking to the sides of the processor bowl, and you're going to see the liquid kind of go down in towards the center. running and it looks like you're starting to get the consistency of butter, it's okay to stop it and kind of see how it looks. Take the lid off. Now this one's kind of at a consistency of pretty creamy butter. Now all this spatter on the lid would have been all over your table, all over your countertops, but again, if all you have is a hand mixer or a stand mixer, it works perfectly fine. For me, I just prefer the quick and easy, no fuss, no muss, less mess, put this thing in the dishwasher when it's done and move on with my day. But as you can see, it's starting to turn into butter. My husband and I both really enjoy having seasoned herb butters around our house. This is the perfect opportunity to take some of that butter that you're making, leave it in your food processor, and add some herbs, some spices, some salt, pepper, garlic, rosemary, whatever you want, and make like a compound butter. When you're done, put it in a little bowl, put it in the freezer, and take it out when you need it. It's great for grilling, it's good for sauteing, it's good for roasting vegetables. So you really do have a lot to work with. This is just a plain butter recipe. Once it's done and you've made the butter, you can really do whatever you want with it. It really is so versatile and it's so easy to make. So cost-wise, you save about $2 making it yourself versus buying it at the store. But like I said, we really enjoy doing this with our kids. The kids love watching it in the kitchen any way they can. So this is just a fun little project to do with them that only takes a few minutes. Starting to get a deeper sound to it, so I'm going to go ahead and turn it off and check it. Okay. So now there's actually starting to be a lot of separation and the liquid is starting to pull away from the solid. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it on for about another minute, then I'm going to show it to you and then we're going to start to rinse it. So my food processor's been on for about 5 minutes and it's almost completely separated. I have the liquid on one side and the fat solids on the other side. Now we're going to go ahead and turn this back on and we're going to give it a rinse with our filtered ice water. You're going to need a couple tablespoons. All you're doing with the cold water is you're rinsing off the solid. Turn it off, give it a look. We're going to go ahead and add 2 more tablespoons for the final rinse. I don't measure, I kind of just know how much to pour in because I've done this so many times. And turn it off. So now we're going to go ahead, and for this you're just going to need a bowl. I've heard people using a strainer. Again, that's one more thing I have to get dirty and it's really not necessary. I have heard of people taking cheesecloth and using that. For me personally, I found that too much of the butter was squeezing through the cheesecloth and getting wasted and it just seemed a little bit unnecessary. So for me, I prefer a white tea towel. I got these really inexpensively on Amazon. I think they came in a pack of 3. So if you're interested, check the comment section below and I'll put a link to the exact tea towels that I'm using as well as the food processor that I'm using for today's video. Go ahead and remove the lid. Set that off to the side. So I don't know if you can see that, but all of the liquid is separated from the solid and that's exactly what you want. So then you're going to take this and carefully, because of that blade, you're going to dump the liquid into the tea towel and then carefully removing the blade. You're going to want to shake off any excess butter that's on there. You're going to take the solid now and you're going to pour that in where the liquid is. Now I like to take a spatula and kind of scrape out the bowl so I'm not wasting it. And you're just going to dump that all into your tea towel. Scrape off your spatula. Then you're going to go ahead and gather up your tea towel over the bowl. Now, what I like to do is spin it, and all you're going to do is you're going to squeeze out the excess liquid that is still in the butter into your bowl. So I like to just keep spinning the rag you'll see the liquid drain out, and I kind of just hold it over the bowl for a minute, continuing to squeeze it until it's really not dripping anymore. If you have a little bit of water in your butter, it's totally fine. You can also blot it out with a paper towel or a clean tea towel. But what you're going to be left with is some really awesome buttermilk that you can use for baking, as well as some homemade butter. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on that notification bell so you know when we have a new video posted. If you're new to our channel, welcome. We like to do videos on rustic living, food from scratch for a handmade home. Thank you so much for joining me for this tutorial on how to make your own butter.